When you think of yoga, what do you think about? If you're like me, you're probably thinking some people trying to swish, slosh, and stretch themselves into impossible looking poses. It's like they're trying to wrap their body into a five-star spaghetti dinner. Something impossible looking that, with the naked eye, if you saw them do it and you thought you could do it, you'd think, I'm gonna split myself apart if I even tried that thing. That's impossible. Something bizarre and new agey. Something not for intellectual minds. For a very long time I used to think like this, like, why do all of this very exotic stretching? You'd be better off lifting weights because what's stretching gonna do besides being able to like maybe reach one or two extra things? If you're looking for health, you'd want to obviously stretch, right? All of this is essentially pointless. But like with all things, my mind changes whenever I see Sadhguru talk about it.
It's a certain geometry of the body. If you manage the geometry of the body well, you must… I'm telling you, right now, people, the Western cultures are going about propagating yoga is another stretching exercise. Instead of that, you can do Pilates, instead of that, you can do boxing, instead of that, you can play tennis. See, if you want to be just fit, go run somewhere, climb a mountain, play tennis, do something. Yoga is not about fitness. Fitness is just one consequence. The important thing is to get the right geometry of life, because physical universe is all geometry. Now this building is standing here, whether how long it will stand, whether it will fall on our head today or will it stand for a long time, essentially depends on how geometrically perfect it is. The same goes for the body, the same goes for the planetary system, the same goes for the universe, the same goes for everything. Planet Earth is going around the sun, not with a steel cable attached to it, just perfection of geometry, isn't it? If little off geometry, if it happens, it's gone forever. And that's true with you also. If you go off your fundamental geometry, you're gone. It's very important at an early age, you do the right things to bring a right sense of geometry. Now you become competent to go through life. Those people who are thinking only good things should happen to them, obviously they're unfit for life. Because if you do not know how to go through harsh situations well, joyfully, then you will avoid all possibilities, isn't it? You will avoid all great possibilities of life simply because you want to avoid a little bit of difficulty. Only when you're geometrically in a certain state of congruence, then you're willing to go through any situation, no matter what it is.
The word asana literally means a posture. When we say a posture, every posture the body can take is an asana. Now this is an asana, 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 this is an asana. So how many possible? Innumerable possible. Innumerable postures that this body can take. Of the innumerable postures that this body can take, we identified 84 asanas as yogasanas. These 84 postures are possibilities where your body will not sit as a hurdle in front of you, but act as a channel for your ultimate possibility. What is the biggest barrier for the human beings to do whatever they're doing? It is their body and their mind. What should have been a stepping stone has turned into an obstacle simply because we have not explored it considerably. Yogasana means you're taking charge of your life, you're transforming your body and mind into a possibility, not a barrier in your life. It is becoming a passage, it is not a block. For every emotional, psychological and different levels of consciousness that you experience, your body naturally tends to take a certain posture. That is, if you're angry, you'll sit one way. You're peaceful, you sit another way. You're in turmoil, you sit one way. You're tranquil, you sit another way. Like this, if you observe your own life, you will see for different states of consciousness that you experience, your body tends to take certain postures. Based on this, conversely, is the science of asanas. By consciously getting your body into a certain posture, you can also elevate your consciousness. The very way you think, feel, perceive and understand life can be altered simply because of the way you sit. Physical body is the easiest thing to work with. If you try to do something with your mind, it'll play too many tricks. At least with the body, you know whether it's doing it right or not doing it right, whether it's cooperating or not cooperating. A mind, if you push it too hard, it will play all kinds of tricks with you. It will make you believe all kinds of things and dump you the next day. But body is not like that. It is a reliable factor. If you work with it sensibly, yogasanas will definitely lead to the possibility of ultimate union.
This is the part where I read a Zen tale that conveniently fits my narrative. Mokuzin Hiki was living in the temple in the province of Tamba. One of his adherents complained of the stinginess of his wife. Mokuzin visited the adherent's wife and showed her his clenched fist before her face. "What do you mean by that?" asked the surprised woman. "Suppose my fist were always like that. What would you call it?" he asked. "Deformed," replied the woman. Then he opened his hand flat in her face and asked, "Suppose it were always like that. What then?" "Another kind of deformity," said the wife. "If you understand that much," finished Mokuzin, "you are a good wife." Then he left. After his visit, this wife helped her husband to distribute as well as to save. Yoga postures, or yogasanas, aren't nearly as pointless as I once thought them to be. They're actual tools that can be used for becoming more flexible physically, but not just physically, mentally, emotionally, perceptionally, that's not a word, becoming more flexible. Even after trying yoga postures myself, specifically Upa Yoga, which you can learn at isha.sadguru.org, I can comfortably say that this stuff doesn't just help you physically, it makes me feel more clear in subtle but clear ways to me. Like I feel a lot better. And if that piques your interest, I'd say consider doing it. It helped me out. It's pretty nice. Just don't do American or book yoga. That stuff will kill you and turn you into a 5-star spaghetti dinner. Really? Really? Seriously? I thought that joke was funny. I thought that joke was actually lame.